Hello everybody and welcome to another community fortress. This one was sent in on the Discord by Colos. And now it's been up there for a little bit, but I just wanted to say if you would like to send in a fortress for me to have a look at on this show, you can do that via my Discord server. Simply scroll down in this video to the description where there is a Discord server linked. Using the join code BLIND, you can join my server. And once you're on there, you can send in a fortress via the DF Save sharing room. And of course, thank you very much to everybody who's sent in fortresses so far, and I'm kind of thinking about doing some contests soon, so keep your design tools active, and maybe keep an eye on the Discord server. All that being said, though, this particular fortress is a volcano fort on kind of the top of a volcano, and it's called the Abbey of Melting, and they must have went in with a theme, and you'll know what I mean. They're part of the Cult of Cuddling, which is a great cult. I would like to join that cult, and a member of the Civilization of the Dangerous Tours. Of course, known artifacts here are syrup jewels. Now, when we dive into the fortress itself, we can kind of scroll around a little bit. We can see that, off the bat, nothing really seems out of the ordinary here. It's generally kind of a pretty standard volcano fort. One thing I will say, though, is this Imbark itself is actually quite impressive because it's actually kind of got like a mountain shape to it. Normally, like, the volcanoes look like just kind of pop out of nowhere and are just kind of sheer and vertical, but this actually has like a pretty natural formation to it, so that's a pretty cool one. Down here we have some surface crops as well as some llamas, alpacas from the looks of things, and some goats and sheep. So lovely little spot right there, and then down here we have, of course, a image of a bronze colossus. I was gonna suggest, but it's not actually, it's just an image of the great bronze colossus, not actually a bronze colossus statue. Then we can go down into here, and then there's this long walkie way that then leads over to a bunch of bitey monsters from the looks of things. It seems like the plan worked, although I recommend filling this up with lava because it seems a little stinky. Down here we have kind of the rest of your long walkway, and then bears and dogs and all that fun stuff. But this is the actual reason we're looking at this fortress. So this is a design that I think a lot of people have lifted from Twisted Logic's tutorial series, but this particular design here is a rather old design that's been on the forums and wiki for a really long time. This particular minecart trick works pretty simply. You get your minecarts up to terminal velocity with either impulse ramps or rollers, and then when they skim across the lava like this, you can sort of see it right now, but it's more obvious in ASCII. Lava mist kind of sprays everywhere, so you can kind of see this red stuff here, and then anything that touches it bursts into flames. For sake of my own aesthetic, I'm going to show this in ASCII. So you can see all this yellow stuff shooting out in here. Anything that touches that yellow just instantly dies, regardless of the situation. It's no longer living at that point. So I can turn that off real quick so that you can continue to witness this, but there is a human siege that is actively at the fortress right now, which I think is down in this lower corner. So the problem with human sieges is they don't actually like to attack you. They like to take their sweet time and not actually attack you. So I'm just going to leave the game unpaused, and hopefully they will send a squad or something to come fight, because, humans not actually attacking and just kind of wandering around is a bit of an annoyance in this game for me. So we're just going to simply do our best to keep an eye on that. Make sure that nothing really misses our eyes. But down here we have a nice little mist generator. A lovely little spot for the dwarves, and we have all kinds of little bedrooms kind of scattered around. The fortress here in and of itself is pretty simple. It's all quite compact in this kind of little area down here. And then we have a very vertical bedroom design that just has stairs at the end that just goes up and down. And then some other spaces, like we have this water source slash hospital here, although it's not actually marked as a hospital, it's just marked as a water source, so that's a little odd to me. We have some offices and things scattered around, and then of course some jail cells. We have some temples, various other places. I love these giant bears. Nice little crypt design over here. Let's check on the fun spot. Okay, there's actually some stuff coming in now, so it's worth peeking at it. So they are walking into the mist melting space. For me, like these setups, like these kinds of machines, these maniacal death machines, while they are really cool to build like once or twice, I think it's more fun to just pour lava on things' heads. And that's usually the defense I go with when I'm doing mountains like this, if it's a volcano, I'm just pouring lava on the enemies' heads. I'm almost never gonna go through the time to set up something like this, but it's really cool to see them up and running. You know, it made me really happy to find out that this trick still worked in this version. Because there was some concerns about like some slight changes that were made to minecarts for this version. There was some concerns that this wouldn't work anymore, but nope, it still very much does, which is, you know, some things in Dwarf Fortress change, but some things just kind of stay the same. And it's really nice to see that these old, constant tricks still continue to work no matter how long the game has been out and released. So since they seem to be rather upset about this whole siege situation and their friends burning to death, they're taking pause. One of the things that's happening here is actually this smoke, which is kind of hard to see on top of these obsidian bridges here, is that it's blocking line of sight entirely for these humans. So they can't actually path across or like run across because they can't see where they're going. So they like stop and like have brain malfunction and like forget how to move for a minute before finally deciding, yes, there's the way through. Well, my friend died. Well, I guess it must be safe for me to go through next. You know, it's kind of funny. I see some people like talking about this like on my Discord server and in comment sections and stuff, that they wish that like enemies could come and scout out traps. But fun fact, they do. If you have like a bunch of stonefall traps or a bunch of weapon traps and you have a public tavern and some evil entity visits that tavern, they might very well walk by and like see your weapon traps, and then the enemy army will go around the weapon traps. However, they don't realize that this is a trap, right? To them, that this is just a minecart rail, and minecart rail isn't trapped, that's minecart. So because minecart isn't trapped, minecart is safe, right? At least they think it is. So because they just see minecarts and it doesn't really set off their alarm bells, then they don't recognize this as a trap and can simply walk through it and burst into flames like this. It's a cool setup. I'm really happy I got to see this functioning on here. And also, now that I think about it, I think this might be my first time actually seeing lava mist as a sprite in this version, like this kind of yellow stuff, the lava mist. It's mist, but for lava instead of water. Well, that is quite the juicy siege. They were not wrong. But as we scroll a little bit further down throughout the fort, very quickly I kind of run out of things to look at. I mean, largely, like, this fort does go down to a second volcano and then the lava sea, but really the, like, selling point for this whole fortress here is this thing. And then, of course, the tavern up above with the glass floors beneath. I'm sure that Rith, the dwarf poet fetid one, is enjoying the view down below of their enemies burning on the entry drawbridge. Really cool design for a defensive structure. If you're looking for some ideas, go look up Twisted Logic's video on how to mess this stuff up with minecarts. It's powered from these windmills up above, down below, and then spinning in circles rapidly. It's just rollers all the way along, rollers down, rollers all the way along, all the way around with pistons in the middle. I started building one of these a little while ago, and then the fort just got too laggy, so I just kind of stopped after a while. But really cool idea, if not a little bit laggy. If you'd like to see more fortresses like this, check out this YouTube channel. I do have a very large playlist of community fortress videos at this point, and I'm looking to do some contests in the near future. So jump into my Discord if you're interested. Links down in the description, and I hope to see you in the next one. Of course, if you would like to support me and the stuff I do here directly, you can check out my Patreon to get your name on this screen. It's $2 a month, or check out my streams directly over at twitch.tv/BLINDIRL. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Peace.